one of the best things you can do for your body and your bank account is to shorten the window of time that your nervous system is in a dysregulated state. And trust me, I know I've had so much evidence of this, both with myself and clients. I used to get into these dysregulated states, aka burnout, for days on end. And I have now shortened that window to half an hour, 2 hours at the most for something really big that happens. And I'm not gaslighting myself, I'm not love and lighting my way out of it, but I'm actually moving to a space of regulation in a completely sustainable and nervous system based way. And here's the thing that lots of people don't tell you. There's a lot of focus on like relax, chill, meditate, right? But actually your body is simply trying to do a very normal response, which is fight or flight, to protect you from harm. It thinks there is a physical threat, a physical danger that you need to fight or flight from. We have evolutionary wired brains. We have not changed much since caveman times. And this is all your body is trying to do, is fight or run away from that danger. But how many people try and avoid this process and go from regulated to calm straight away when skipping steps? We can't skip the steps to regulation because the dorsal vagal ladder, which is how our nervous system regulates, goes from freeze to flight to fight and then regulation. So we have to move up the ladder. We have to move from, depending on where we're at that moment in time, freeze, flight, fight, then regulate. So in moments of dysregulation, what you actually need to do is to work with your nervous system rather than against it. So allow the fight or flight. So what could this look like? Here's some things that I do. So I will put on some music and dance. So use that cortisol, use that energy, give my body that fight or flight energy that it needs. I will walk briskly around the block. I might run, like if something really triggering happens on a walk, which it did the other day, 3 dogs like ran at me. I ran a little bit on the walk. So ran it off. I allowed my body to have that flight. Get a cushion or pillow, scream into it. Punch a pillow. Obviously do these processes very safely. You can get a baseball bat and some pillows and whack those pillows. So doing these things in the moment, and it does take practice to rewire the brain in the moment to go, oh, I just need to let it fight or flight. You come into regulation really quickly after that. But there's also some things that we can do, not necessarily in the moment, but where we allow the body to just as part of a routine or as part of a, regular practice that we do, allow the body to release, allow stuff to come out of the body. Because remember, trauma comes in and out of the body. So we can talk about trauma until the cows come home, but the body needs to actually remove it, which is where things like somatic practices come in. So we can do somatic practices, working with the sensations in the body, allowing that to move through. We can do practices like breathwork. So I do a process called quantum breathwork, where we connect into the quantum, but also do a primal release from the body. I do that in my Quantum Queen membership every 6 months. You can regularly get movement in. So actually moving your body to give it that flight, to give it that fight mode. Particularly in the luteal phase of my cycle, I might allow a release such as, punching, kicking a pillow, that kind of thing. But if you just think about this, it's really simple. Like your body naturally wants to fight or flight, and that is what you are giving it. And this shortens that window of time that you're in dysregulation much more quickly, because you're moving up the dorsal vagal ladder into regulation, and then incredible magical things happen from that space of regulation. This is like in the place of desire rather than need, because when we're in dysregulation there's a need, right? When we're in a regulated state, we can go into not only what is my need, what is it that I desire, what is overflow for me, that space of regulated, joyful flow. Like that is where we want to be. And this turns on abundance as well. Any questions, let me know.